Good morning, everybody. Shift your mindset here with a new episode. Why no one should be an elder. I was thinking about this the weekend and I thought I could never be an elder. They asked me for that position when I was a ministerial servant. I declined it because it didn't feel right, but I was in the Jehovah's Witness religion still. But something felt wrong for me. Why? And now I know why. Because if you want to be an elder, if you are an elder, you are a dishonest, not loyal, not empathic, not a joyful person. I never seen an elder being happy to be an elder. All the elders are, it's hard work, but yeah, we do it for the flock and they want the position. But how can you be an elder? I like honesty. I like to be able to look in somebody's eyes, to look into the mirror at night and be proud of myself. That I've been honest, that there's no hidden agenda, that I helped somebody truly. But being an elder nowadays, you can't be an honest person. Why not? Because we all had those people around us in the congregation who were a little bit odd, according to the elders, who were not shoveling the coal, who were not doing their work, who were always a little bit odd and a little bit of an outcast. I had a brother in my congregation with a beard, and he kept that beard, and it's 20 years ago. And there was always that thing about that beard. He went into ministry, he did his things, good brother, nothing wrong with it, but the elders had something against him. So they proposed him for position and it was declined by the majority of the elders because of the beard, because of this, because of that. They always find something if they don't like you. And being an elder, there are, in my opinion, from the 10 elders there are in a congregation, maybe 1 or 2 are really good brothers. But the good brothers always lose in being an elder, in the body of elders, because the majority is always against something they propose from the Bible. They doing the right thing, but they always get disappointed. You always have elders who keep their mouth shut and just vote with the majority of the votes, even if it's against their feelings. So, how can you be an elder if you have treated people badly in the congregation, and now when the organization is changing the rules, to still be able to look them in the eyes? You had people declined for positions who were doing their best because they had a beard, because they didn't make enough hours in the ministry, or return visits, all that crap, and you declined them for the position of ministerial servant or being an elder. And now the organization has changed the rules about beards and stuff, and you don't feel sorry. You don't feel sorry that you misjudged another person and was keeping him from progressing in all those years. How is it possible that you don't go to that person now and say, hey, listen, I'm sorry that we declined your application for ministerial servant back in the days. Clearly the organization was wrong about it, and apologies from our side, and we'll take it into consideration, and we are watching you grow in the congregation to get you more things to do. There is lately so much things wrong in this organization by this new light that is just making stuff up because it didn't have a scriptural base at all. That's why the first red flags as an elder should raise in your head. That you think, hey, there's something wrong. There's no scriptural base for beards, for pants, for toasting, stuff like that. But being an elder nowadays is being a snake or a chameleon. You change colors whenever you want and you need it. So, in my opinion, if you are truly honest, if you have the best interest for other people, you can't serve as an elder. You can't, because your conscience is continuously in conflict. Because you have to do things a certain way, but you don't support it deep down inside. So being an elder is being able to shut off all your feelings for your fellow human beings. You have to shepherd them in a certain way, not in your own way. You have to give a talk from a piece of paper where everything is written down and you just have to follow it. There is no room for your own input. There's no room for giving your own twist to that talk, to make it yours, to really express feelings towards the public. No, it's just a broken record that you have to repeat. You have given the authority over certain people, but you can't handle them. So you're gonna oppress them. You're gonna do it in not a loving way. Shepherds are supposed to be caring, loving, empathic, helpful people. But how many times were you really helped by an elder? Bottom line is, you don't do enough. If they come for a shepherding visit, we appreciate you, but we thank you for your but. There's always that but. You have to do more. You have to follow the rules more. You have a wrong opinion about a certain matter that has to be adjusted. But I see that elders are often slacking in ministry, in other things, and they hide behind their position and that they are busy with more important stuff. But they are just visiting old people and count it as ministry hours. That's my experience with elders. They have secret shepherd of the flock book where no one is allowed to see or to question or to look into. They are backing up each other. They know things about each other, but as long as they keep the ranks closed, it will function. in the body of elders. There's a lot of not trusting each other in a body of elders. And it's moving around and backstabbing each other, elbows out, because they want another one's position. So if they can, they also throw each other under the bus by the CEO or whatever who's coming. So being an elder is everything I don't stand for in life. Just another example I want to share with you guys. Although viewing child pornography, I have to be careful with Google, is not considered to be child abuse from a congregation standpoint, it is still a serious violation of Jehovah's standards. A person involved in viewing child should be strongly counseled. Depending on the frequency and the extent of his viewing, he could be subject to congregation judicial action. That's from the Shepherd of the Flock book. In the Netherlands, if you watch child pornography, you can be sentenced to 2 years in jail. You can't have it on your computer. And now the Jehovah's Witnesses, the shepherds, the elders, saying a person should be strongly counseled. Strongly counseled. We all don't do it again. And the frequency and the extent of his viewing could be subject to judicial committee. Of course, he's not gonna say that he's watching it 6 times a day. So he said, oh no, it was 1 time and I'm sorry and blah, 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 blah. In the Netherlands, you get sentenced to 2 years in jail. That's a lot. Just to have it on your computer and you watching it. It is a criminal offense in many, many, many countries. I don't know if it's in all the, in every state in the United States, but I believe in Canada, in Germany, whatever. It's illegal to have and to watch, and you can go to jail for 2 years in the Netherlands. And here you are an elder, there's someone watching that horrific stuff, vulnerable children, against their will, and that person should be strongly counseled. That's why I never want or can be an elder. If I have something in my congregation that is going on with this, I would call the police without hesitation. Whatever the Shepherd of the Flock book is saying, because this is sick. This is a criminal offense. Same as with accusations of abuse. 2-witness rule. You have to follow that as an elder, but it can't be with abuse cases. Nevertheless, there is something. No, we don't go to the police as an elder. We're gonna call the department first of Bethel. So the most important thing in those cases is calling Bethel. Not calling the police. No, we call Bethel. Then you have to strongly advise people to don't give Jehovah a bad name. If you report it, then they're gonna investigate in our religion and that's having a bad name and stuff like that. So being an elder is being a sneaky weasel in these days. So my opinion is, if you have a healthy conscience, if you have a nice moral compass, you can't be an elder in the Jehovah's Witness religion. Let me think what you think about this subject, what elders else do, what can't be done in a normal world, because they hide each other, they keep each other from being sacked as an elder. There are many politics going on if you are an elder, and you can't be an honest person and still serve as an elder, because everything you do goes against your own feeling. You're shutting down your own feelings, because who can live with the decisions you have to make as an elder? It's also from the HLC, if you go to the hospitals for people who have blood or whatever, it's always defending something that can't be defended at certain points. So let me know what you think about it, and we see each other on the next episode.